Okay guys, we're just gonna check out around this area because I have found shiitake mushrooms here before. So there's a lot of old logs that have come down over here. You can see all these rotten logs everywhere. It's what they like. Here's a couple I just spotted out of the corner of my eye. Here, we've got some wild shiitake mushrooms. So these guys grow from hardwood logs, and these are nice and fresh actually. You can see the lacy white bits around the outside of the cap. Those are a good indication of shiitake. These little things here, little tassels. They usually have a short little firm, that's a like woody stem, real hard woody stem. And if you put these upside down on some, put them up like that on some tin foil, you should get a nice crystally white spore print from these. But again guys, join up to the New Zealand Hunters mushroom page, New Zealand Mushroom Hunters page. They've got some mycology guys or whatever they are, smart guys that can help you identify any mushrooms that you find. These guys have a look-alike, but it usually grows out of the ground, and it has a soft stem. Just has a similar looking cap, that's all, but it has a soft stem and a different color spore. The lookalikes have a orangey brown spore. These guys have a crystal white spore. So this is a spot that I've been to before. I thought they might be here because it's been still quite cool and wet. They like the cooler weather, like when you're just coming into spring and you're getting a lot of rain, but it's not too warm. And they love this sort of area where there's lots of logs down. And I'll just sneak around here. There's a nice little baby one over here. Still hasn't opened his cap up completely yet. There's a nice little fella. Nice and clean. Got these little lacy bits around the outside. And these are a wild shiitake, so they have a lot more of a foresty flavour than your brought shiitakes. Probably better nutrients in them too. Here's a little something else. Not on my edible radar. Some type of hyphiloma or some type of non-edible toxic mushroom. There's a nice big log here. This big log here in the peak of the season is just covered in shiitakes, guys. Honestly, this has been my favourite spot for a few years now. But I'm not seeing any growing on here. But it's a good day out in the bush anyway. We like to come out here and keep up to date with what's going on. There's a few up the top here starting to pop off. This might be an example of a bad one. It's been here too long. You can see the gills are starting to go like a more of a browny colour. Not so fresh. You just leave them on the log like that to drop their spores. And the difference being a nice fresh little guy here. Nice white gills. And just leave them to drop their spores. I'll be looking forward to coming back in another couple of weeks maybe, when they really take off. There is really not a lot here to show you today, but if you like crawling around in the forest, this is the go. You can go home with a feed of wild shiitake mushrooms. See, down under this log, in this sheltered, they like it sheltered and damp. You can see them growing in here. They actually like growing quite close to the ground too, where it's probably cooler and wetter. Just make sure that any mushrooms you do find, guys, that you check with the New Zealand Mushroom Hunters page, and make sure you cook anything that you're gonna eat. There's another couple of older ones down here. Unfortunately, there's not a lot here to show at the moment. My mate's come along and pulled some of these ones off, but these are nice fresh ones. So they've got a firm woody stem, usually quite short, and usually in a kind of like an umbrella shape like that. They're not very often, see though, they're growing out of the side of the log and then pointing upwards, you know, it's kind of like this. So the stem's usually always bent like that too. That's another good indicator, but that's a very woody, firm stem. Nice fresh gills, and they'll drop a white spore print on tin foil. They have the lacy pattern around the outside of the cap. So that's your wild shiitake, guys, just out in the forest. And they like fallen logs, rotting wood, cold, wet weather. Usually in the coolest months where it's wet. Probably not in the frosty period, but in the cooler, wet period like it is at the moment is just ideal for them. And you get a spot like this with these big fat logs that have been here for a few years, and they just boost. You get heaps. And if I didn't already tell you, we're in the Bay of Plenty area, inland Bay of Plenty area, North Island, New Zealand. And we're just going to keep on hunting now because we're looking for some tawaka mushrooms actually, but I think it's still not quite warm enough for them yet. They're my favourite. They are a mild mushroom, creamy, yummy. So we might pop back out into the bush in another few weeks, couple of weeks, and see if we've got any tawakas popping off to share with you. Okay guys, enjoy your mushroom hunting, and if you want to learn how to grow tobacco and make smokable tobacco, check out my other channels. Have a good day. Bye.